Well, we do have quite a few large rural areas, but really our poverty is concentrated in inner city and along the border. And one of the things at the center that we talk about, I probably shouldn't say at the center, one of the things that we talk about quite a bit is that we really shouldn't think about children as being kind of individual units separate from their family. You really have to think about child poverty as family poverty. And so for most families, poverty is linked to several issues, one being low educational attainment, meaning that we have quite a few families who never graduated from high school, and that directly impacts the kinds of earnings that they can make in their jobs. Their skill sets are lower, and blue-collar jobs are just disappearing. In addition to increasing expenses on the marketplace, higher medical costs and fewer families receiving health insurance through an employer, all of these issues really come to a confluence where it's just so many more families are struggling, and therefore there are more children living in poverty. I mean, there's not really one simple answer.
As usual, right.
But
it's a complex.
It is a very complex issue. Yeah.
But it's a persistent issue too in Texas.
It is persistent. And what has been, while child poverty has been persistent, it is consistent with the fact that our general political motivations have been to make sure that business is well supported in Texas, and we get a lot of tax breaks to businesses that come in. But we don't necessarily ask those businesses to guarantee a certain level or a living wage that families can earn. We don't focus as much on the work supports that are put in place to help families move out of poverty and give them a pathway to middle class and to economic security. And so unless we start kind of focusing on those family support systems, we're not going to move a lot of children out of poverty. We have to do things like make sure that families have the kind of child care, safe, licensed child care that they need so that they can go to work and they can, advance themselves or get job training so they can get a better paying job. We have to make sure that fewer kids drop out of high school. We have a very high dropout rate, and depending on, we can get into that if you want to talk about it, but there's a really big debate about how you measure dropouts, but our state agency says it's, about between 3.5% to 4.5% in the last 5 years of kids who drop out of school, whereas if you look at the number of kids who start school in 9th grade and then those who graduate in 12th grade, it's called an attrition rate. And so of those kids who disappear, it actually can range anywhere between 30% and 50% depending on the area of the state that you're looking in. So we've got far too many kids who are disappearing from the schools and not getting that degree, which then again translates into opportunities down the road.